Over the last year, I scaled my business to over $2 million and have helped over 335 agencies grow and scale their business using lead generation strategies. And to do this, I've tested a ton of different lead generation strategies as it pertains to actually growing our business. But what I found is that some strategies completely outperform others. So for this video, I've narrowed it down to 12 strategies that are working best for myself as well as the clients that we've worked with. And I'm going to share them all with you now so you know exactly how to grow your business in 2025. And just before we get started, these are in no particular order, so just keep that in mind as we're going through the 12 different strategies. All right, so the first on the list is going to be YouTube organic. So if you didn't know this, YouTube is actually the second most traffic site behind Google, meaning it is getting the most amount of search traffic outside of Google, which is a massive search engine. When I hear stuff like that, I need to take advantage of this because there is attention there, there's traffic there. And now with YouTube really being branded as the go-to solution for how to figure things out, essentially with the YouTube University, all the courses being uploaded to YouTube, it is paramount that we show up there because there are people searching for how we can actually help them build their business or whatever we do as a B2B service provider. YouTube is the best way to scale trust. So we are in the era that nobody trusts salespeople. We're getting numb to advertisements, salespeople, etc., etc. And one of the best ways to combat this is YouTube content, because YouTube content is a long form content. And the longer people consume your content, the more that they trust you and the more likely they're actually to do business with you. Probably 90% of the clients that come to us have seen us on YouTube, and they see the value that we provide on YouTube, which allows them to see, hey, we're authentic, we actually know what we're talking about, and it makes them easier for them to invest in our program so that they can then also use the strategies that we're teaching them to grow and scale their business. And there's so many cool ways to leverage YouTube as well. Like you could use it in lead magnets, you could use it in sales follow-ups, and the more that you can get your long form content, trust building content in front of people, the more likely they're going to trust you and ultimately be doing business with you. When it comes to YouTube content, like what should you create? You don't need to have a huge camera crew, all this lighting, all this fancy stuff. What is most important is title, thumbnail, and basically the idea and also the execution of the value that you provide to them. I've seen people crushing it with like just simple Loom videos, whiteboard videos, simple content that basically educates the customer and ultimately adds value to the end user and position you as the go-to person for the problem that they just searched and found you solving live on a YouTube video. Another awesome strategy is going to be LinkedIn content creation. So for those who don't know, LinkedIn is basically a professional platform. Basically, it's a platform where we can show our connections from a professional perspective. We put in our job titles. We connect with people, maybe in a like-minded industry or an industry that you're then targeting with. When I post on LinkedIn, I know who my audience is and I know why they're on that platform. They're on the platform for professional reasons. One of our biggest deals come from LinkedIn. It was a 5-figure retainer and it came directly from LinkedIn because they saw me there. The person that reached out to me was an executive at a pretty large company. I know that I probably would have never gotten the deal if I wasn't consistently posting on LinkedIn and positioning myself as an authority. And the other cool thing about LinkedIn is that it's pushing more organic content. So LinkedIn is huge, highly recommended. As far as like what we should be posting, I mean, authority building content. Like we want to position us as an authority. That means educating the consumer and sharing insights, sharing case studies of how you've been able to help specific people in that specific industry. Also like engaging your audience. Like it's a great place to talk about industry related topics. You need to be consistent with your posting because the more consistent you are, that's going to compound over time. I would suggest posting anywhere from 3 to 5 times per week and finding just a realistic cadence for yourself. So we have LinkedIn content. The next thing I want to hit on is LinkedIn outreach. So LinkedIn outreach is basically like, just like any other platform, we have the ability to direct message people. And the beauty about LinkedIn outreach is, like I said before, is there's a lot of professionals on LinkedIn and our ideal customers on LinkedIn. And in addition, it's really easy to find them using the search filters that LinkedIn provides to us. I can literally find people by job title. I can find everybody that works at a specific company. I can figure out where they're located, all that sort of stuff, which is huge when coming up with a prospect list. Because it's more of a professional platform, it's normal to reach out and want to build connections with people. Where a lot of people get LinkedIn outreach wrong is they just copy and paste the same message. There is limits to LinkedIn, which is kind of a negative where you can only send a specific amount every single day. But if you can be personalized with your outreach, you're able to personalize that message to a specific prospect. They will be way more likely to respond. If you're posting content like what I just suggested, then they'll see your content and the outreach will feel a lot more organic. From an outreach perspective, what we've seen work really well is sending content, sending a lead magnet. We talked about the YouTube videos. So if you could create a video that's like a lead magnet, something of adding value to them, I would connect with people and I would say, hey, John, would love to connect, and send that message in addition to a connection request. Like what we don't want to do is we don't want to just offer something of value from the first message and they don't respond. We want to have a follow-up sequence. What we like to do is we like to make sure that we're doing at least 4 follow-ups per connection and outbound request that we're sending, so that we're consistently top of mind and we're consistently trying to add value to the customer on a regular basis, because sometimes people just don't check the LinkedIn. Really, fortune is for sure in the follow-up, especially when it comes to outbound. And another thing that's cool with LinkedIn that we would use a lot is the LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So it's basically an advanced tool that gives us advanced targeting, allows us to send even more messages every single day. So if you are keen, your clients are keen on LinkedIn, this could be worth the investment to use something like LinkedIn Sales Navigator so that you can send more connection requests, as well as make sure you're getting in front of the right people. And for the next strategy I want to hit on is cold email, which has a killer strategy for myself as well as the 300 plus agencies that we work with, because it continues to innovate, is extremely scalable, and you can make sure that you're actually hitting your target customer. So why we like cold email is, one, we know who we're actually reaching out to because we have the ability to create lists of whoever we want to reach out to. So we use basically like a lead finder where we can pull an email of all of the CEOs, founders, co-founders, target emails. And we know that if we're sending an email to this person, it's going to land in their inbox because we've verified that that list is in fact clean. It's also extremely scalable. With tools like an Instantly, for example, you can use pre-warmed accounts and you can warm up your accounts, and basically you can get multiple email sending accounts, and you can send 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 10,000 plus emails every single day to the list that you're building and that you've been able to build. So it's extremely scalable without having to really do much, which leads me to my next point. It's automated using a tool like Instantly for it to automatically be sending emails. And all I need to do is I need to manage the responses that we're getting and set appointments from there. So the next strategy that I want to talk about is going to be basically customer referrals and warm outreach. What I think a lot of people neglect is the ability to, one, get referrals, and then two, they underestimate who's in their contact list. So what we do all the time, and this is something that we do with all of the agencies that we work with, is we have them do what's called a momentum campaign. The hard thing with doing any sort of cold outreach for people online or via the phone or whatever it could be is that they don't trust you. They don't know you. And the problem with this is it's really hard to get an in without you having that established trust with them. And the good thing, how to combat this, is referrals and warm outreach. What we do is we have them build a list of influential people that they know and basically ask them, hey, we launched this new offer. Do you, or is there anybody that you know that could have interest in what it is that we're offering to people? Here's what we do. Is there anybody that you could connect me with? That works really well. We recently just had a client add $16,000 a month just by doing warm outreach. Second way is going to be from just referrals. I think we feel this like weird tension to ask our clients for referrals. So what we've done to optimize referrals is, one, we've created a referral program. So for every referral that you give us, we're going to give you $750. After the referral program is basically in place, our job is to continue to reiterate the referral program. How do we do that? Is, one, when we're onboarding a client, we're going to make them aware of the $750 referral bonus that they get if they refer somebody over to us. Two, we're going to make it apparent consistently through conversations. Like you could even put in your email signature, hey, just a reminder, we will send you $750 if you refer someone to us, and just continuing to reiterate that so that they are just continually omnipresent that you in fact will give them $750 for a referral. That's two easy ways as it pertains to leveraging your contacts that you can use to generate more leads. It is simple. So the next strategy that I want to hit on is webinars. I feel like is a really strong way to get in front of people and add more value to people. What we do is we do like a monthly workshop, or when they come on the workshop every single month, is that we'll educate them on a specific topic. We'll give them a ton of value. And at the end of the presentation, we will offer them to work with us. It is really strong because the people that are investing an hour into from their day to watch a workshop from you, they're pretty serious people. You're basically doing a sales pitch to a group. And if you can see it that way, and if you can get really good at presenting yourself, your conversion rate will be significant. So when it comes to a workshop, basically what you want to do, you want to come up with the promotion, basically what it is that you're doing. Then when it comes to presentation, you want to just give away the sauce. You want to give value. How I like to look at it is we have an intro, and then you have 3 to 5 different pillars that you're teaching on. After the presentation, you want to go through all the registrants, send them a replay, and follow up with people that joined the Zoom meeting and try to book them on a call. Or the next strategy that I want to talk about is podcasting, actually. So podcasting often is seen as a entertainment tool to basically just entertain somebody, kill a bunch of time, all that good stuff. stuff, but it's something that I think is a huge opportunity for B2B businesses because it allows you to get in front of your ideal customer. Podcasting is a huge strategy. For me, from like a podcast perspective, what's really nice about it is a lot of people spend a lot of time on niche related podcasts. I mean, personally, I listen to a lot of like triathlon podcasts because that's what I'm into. The ability to create niche related podcasts, one, you're going to draw in a really niche type of person that's watching it. Two, it's going to be really good content, long form content that's going to do the same thing as YouTube, which builds trust with them. And three, you can use that video that you did from a podcast perspective and upload it into YouTube. Here's how I would leverage a podcast, how we've done it in the past to get in front of people and really open a ton of doors. I would use the podcast as a way to interview industry leaders. If you have a high ticket item and you have a specific customer that you're trying to get in front of, I would interview my prospects and invite them on a podcast rather than trying to get them on a sales call. Use that as a tool to network, to record with a webcam, whatever it could be. And you can use tools like Spotify Podcaster, and then you upload it once and it uploads absolutely everywhere. And then when you finish the video, I would cut up the video into clips, tag the person that you talked with, which creates that association, which allows you to be seen with that person, which will increase likelihood of trust. And also I would send clips to that person so that they can post as well. And then I would send a follow-up email to the person that you had on the show, outlining exactly how they can use the clips so that they in fact use it. And then what you're able to now do is you have that established relationship and makes it a lot easier to connect with that person and potentially get them on a sales call. Strategy number 8 is going to be Facebook ads, meta ads, one that's been around for a long time. And what I love about Facebook ads is it's pretty much guaranteed reach. If I spend money, I know that I'm going to get in front of specific people. And the ability for me to target specific people is really, really beneficial. Yes, it can be a predictable way to get in front of eyeballs, but it can also be a way to basically burn money if you don't do it correctly. So it's really important when you're doing Facebook ads, make sure you have a proper strategy. And for us, what's worked after spending over $300,000 in ads last year is to go with like a DM me approach. So our approach is we're trying to get people to DM us a keyword, and then we then set the appointment from there into an actual sales call calendar and ultimately closing. And this leads me to my next point, which is going to be Instagram content creation. So there are a lot of business owners that are spending a lot of time on Instagram. That was my biggest tactic as I was scaling my marketing agency, was Instagram organic. I would post every single day. I would invest in content because I knew that Instagram content was a money-making activity. And I mean, we got this huge partnership literally from being present on Instagram. The ability for the consumer to go on your Instagram and see your content, see you adding value, but also potentially see like your personal side. Like for me, I post a lot on running and cycling and swimming and all the Ironman training that I'm doing, because that establishes a connection. It makes me human. It allows me to connect with the consumer from a business perspective, which scales trust. So when it comes to Instagram content, that's kind of the mix that I like to do. I like to be posting every single day. What could be realistic for you is maybe 3 to 5 times a day. And then the content mix is heavy educating and positioning myself as an authority, but also sharing a little bit of my personal life, because that builds the connection with the consumers. And if you are running an Instagram ad strategy like the one I just shared with you, it's going to help your ads absolutely crush. All right, so the next strategy I'm gonna hit on is networking events. Trust is probably the most important thing that we should be focusing on. Networking events and meeting people face to face is that trust factor. To build trust with people, you don't really need to like scroll on Instagram, make sure this person legit, because they're face to face with you. You can kind of get a good vibe from the person and you get to build that really, really strong connection that unfortunately just doesn't happen through a video call or just watching someone's content. I would definitely use networking if I was selling high ticket or maybe a more localized type of service. I think it does take a lot of time to do. It can be exhausting for people like introverts like me, but at the end of the day, that's a great opportunity for you to go network and build trust and ultimately connections. The next lead generation strategy that we're gonna hit on is going to be your email newsletter. I mean, the power of email, that everybody has one and people are consistently checking it. So again, one of the goals, we want to scale trust. So if we know that we're working with B2B CEOs, do you think they're checking their email consistently? Absolutely. And if our job is to get in front of these CEOs and these business owners, we want to go where their attention is, and their attention is going to be on email. So if you're using Instagram ads, get their email and you can start creating a list that way. If you're using YouTube, create a lead magnet that creates an opt-in that somebody has to opt in to get that lead magnet. Same thing with LinkedIn outbound, so that you can start to build your list. And then from a content perspective, all you want to do, and you can really repurpose all the content that you're creating from like a YouTube or a LinkedIn or Instagram, and you can share it in a written text form. We like to use ChatGPT to help us out just from repurposing content. We have a direct call to action, which tries to get people to book a call with us. This has been a huge asset for us. We probably book 10 calls a week directly from our email list that we've built just from the ways that I just shared with you. So it has been a massive value add for our business, and it can be for you if done right. And the last lead generation strategy that I want to hit on is going to be influencer marketing. So this is something that is fairly new, but extremely effective if done correctly. I think this is super powerful because we have the ability to partner with people and get access to their audience and bring them over to us. And if we're doing our lead generation strategies correctly, then we're gonna have things in place to convert the audience that's coming to us to paying clients. How we've been able to do this, we partnered up with mortgage companies. So I would teach a lunch and learn or a webinar to a mortgage company. I didn't have to prospect real estate agents. The mortgage company would get all of the real estate agents to show up for the lunch and learn, and they're seeing me associated with this mortgage company, which ultimately built trust. Same thing for influencer marketing. Who has an audience of ideal customers that you want to get in front of, collaborate with them, add value to them so that you're exposed to their audience. When you're doing this, think about how can you add value to them and their audience, and naturally the association will happen, and then that will allow you to be associated with them and ultimately bring in more clients that way. This has been a huge thing for us. This is how you get your business from here to here real quick, but you need to be patient and you need to be consistent with it. These are the 12 lead gen strategies that you can implement in 2025 that are absolutely ripping, especially cold email. I've scaled my business to multiple six figures just from the lead gen channel. But a video like this, I really didn't have much ground to actually talk about cold email and how to actually leverage it to grow your business and the actual applicable steps that you need to take to actually do it right. So that's why on the video on the screen, you can check out basically how to set everything up so that you can use cold email to predictably get you new leads in your business this year, set more appointments, and ultimately grow your business predictably with cold email. Thanks so much guys for watching, and we will see you on the next one.